Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Homie Picks. You got me, you got Lou, you got Ben. Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Morning. Morning.
So what's up?
You got another busy betting day for entertainment purposes only, of course.
Of course, always.
Recapping last week, it was a long week for us all. Ben had the better of the week. Ben had three right, 2 wrong. I was next up with 2 right, and Lou, you had the.
I don't want to talk about it.
You got one. You got one. That's all that matters, man. You got one.
That's right.
Yeah, we
didn't play the Jets yet.
Right? See, we
So
all
you're saying there's a chance.
we all doing better than this right now. But, yeah, somehow, some way, the NFC East is still a conference, but you got Philly, Philly is the division leaders, right? Or is it Washington?
I'm not sure. I think it's the Giants.
Oh, the Giants?
Yeah.
G-Man, baby.
The G-Man?
Yeah.
See?
I believe so.
See, when you're that damn bad, you don't even know who the hell's really on top. But
I must say, though, the Giants are getting progressively better.
Without Saquon Barkley. God damn.
Yeah, and just hurt Daniel Jones. So they've improved. I think they got the coaching had part right. So they just need to work on keeping healthy.
Well, we're going to talk about them later. But to start off with, we're going to start off with the Indianapolis Colts versus the Houston Texans. Almost went old school and called the Oilers, showing my age. But Indy is a 3-point favorite coming into this, playing at Houston. So, gentlemen, I know we all, if you're a frequent watcher, we all know that is Dusty's team. I'm sorry, that is Ben's team, and we're gonna save the best for last. So, Lou, start us off, bro.
Yeah. So I don't know. Houston's been on a hot streak. I mean, they've been playing better, especially what they did to the Lions on Thanksgiving was pretty brutal. They beat them up and down the field. I'm trusting in the Colts, man. Phillip Rivers has found a way to look good and look bad at the same time this season. So I'm taking the Colts on this one. I think they cover that this week.
Okay. If I remember correctly, last week I was actually going to choose the Colts over Tennessee to try to cover, and luckily I was talked out of it by Ben because he reminded me that they have no defense right now, and a lot of their issues, their COVID-related issues and injuries, are on the defensive side. Offensively, they're hit and miss at times. Me personally, I think there's just inconsistencies with Indy. They can be hot one night and then cold another. Houston has been disappointing, but they have played a lot better since Bill O'Brien got let go. So I'm actually going to ride with Houston on this one. I think they can cover that 3 points, on the points. So I'm gonna ride with Houston on this one. And now for our insider on the Indianapolis Colts, Ben.
Yeah. So like I said last week, they were just too many COVID-related absences there. So they're getting most of their defense back. The starters are going to be in there. I think they're going to get pressure on Deshaun Watson, and Watson just lost Fuller, so I think they're relying on Cook and Koki, I think is their number 2 receiver. I don't even know. QT. Yeah. So yeah, that sets it off. Like I think David Johnson is still on concussion protocol. I mean, they spanked Detroit, but Detroit's just not there. So I think Indy should cover this one. They also get their running back back in the lineup. Last week they were just going off their backup. So I think it'll be better this week. They should be able to put up some points. It should be a little bit more balanced because Indy does like to run the ball. And they weren't able to do anything last week. So should be a better. I think they should cover. I say the Colts win.
All right. The Colts win. The Colts win. Yeah, it's funny when if you're trusting the offense to a guy named Cutie. It's not a cool thing, man. So
yeah, I mean, and then after that, it's like I don't even know who's the third receiver. So it's like
I didn't want to know that man's name. But moving to the second one, it's going to be Los Angeles Rams versus the Arizona Cardinals. Right now, the Rams are a 3-point favorite. Number 2 in that division. Seattle's still number 1, right?
That was number 1 because the Rams lost to the Niners.
Seattle,
yep.
Right.
Seattle still 1, Rams 2, Arizona is 3. So you know it's a division game. It's always competitive when you have division rivals or division games. So, Ben, what you thinking of?
I like the Rams in this one, actually. I think it's a good matchup for them. Last week, they got smacked by 49ers, but I think the Niners always have their number. It's, for them, just like a bad matchup or something. But this week, I believe the Rams have beaten them the last 6 times they've met. So they have an advantage over them. They're still a developing team. They've gotten better, but I think Kyler's a little bit hurt, so they're not doing that many run plays with him, so that takes away one dimension from their offense. So and the Rams can play the defense. So they have Ramsey, can take off, match him up with D-Hop. So I like the Rams in this one.
Luke?
I was iffy on this one too. I have no luck picking either one of these teams, and it's great that they're matching up because I'll probably still find a way to lose this one. But I'm going to go with the Rams. I think they bounced back from last week. That was a poor showing on their part. The NFC West is probably the toughest division to play in right now. You have to show up because you can't let Seattle jump ahead. They're playing my Giants, so that's an easy win for Seattle. You can't lose any ground to them. So I think the Rams treat this like a must win, and they cover the 3 points.
Tough one. Arizona is up and down. LA is up and down. They can look good against, Buccaneers, but then sometimes they have let down games. Arizona's played them tough. It's always tough to play a division game. But I think the Rams should have this 3 points.
But
I'm just gonna have to hope and pray on that one. So I'm gonna go with LA. I think LA is the more superior team. But again, it depends on the day with them.
For me, I think it's the Niners. They have the defense still. Their front still can get after the quarterback. And if you make Goff uncomfortable, he's not the same quarterback. So for me, Arizona doesn't have that kind of pass rush. So if he's comfortable enough, he should be able to pick them apart. And I think Robert Woods has had like big games against them. So I don't know. I think they still have a lot of things against them going right now. I don't think they're gonna pull this one off.
Yeah, I think you're right. I just gotta hope and pray on this one. People gonna have to hope and pray that Derrick Henry don't run freaking circles around this team. But the next one is Tennessee versus Cleveland. Tennessee is the 5-point favorite right now. I don't even really know how the hell they're a 5-point favorite. They should steamroll Cleveland It don't matter if it's played in Cleveland, Pluto, or the next galaxy. Derrick Henry's going to run right through them. There's still no Beckham. Beckham is out for the season. You still got Juice Landry on the other side, but Tennessee just gets better every week. And that's the same thing they did last year, the same thing they did last week, the same thing they just keep getting stronger. It's like some damn Dragon Ball Z character. like the parallels keep growing and growing. So I think another big game for Derrick Henry. I don't think Cleveland's defense is gonna stop him. It should be a murder. Luke, what you thinking?
I'm officially nicknaming Derrick Henry Juggernaut, because once that man starts going, you ain't stopping him. He gets better as the game goes on. And he's making Ryan Tannehill's game look so much better. The other wide receiver they have, I forgot his last name. The big guy, what's his name?
From who? Tennessee?
Brown. What's his name?
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown. Yeah, he has a little bit of a Metcalf mentality. When he starts rolling downhill as well, it's hard to stop him. He's either running through people 2 weeks ago, and last week he was running away from them, going for a touchdown. So I like what Tennessee brings to the NFL. They're that sneaky good team that no one's really paying attention to right now in the AFC. So I definitely think they can cover those 5 points in Cleveland.
All right. Yep. I actually like the underdogs here. I like Cleveland. I think Cleveland, again, I think it's like a matchup thing. I think they match up well with Tennessee because what Tennessee is bad at is stopping the run, and Cleveland can run the ball. Nick Chubb has had, I think, 3 consecutive 100-yard games since he came back, right? Something like that.
Yep.
So if they can keep him off the field, you're not facing Henry. So I think it's going to be one of those types of games trying to kill clock. And if Baker can manage the game, I think they can pull it off. So I don't think they'll blow out Tennessee by any means, but I think they can pull off a win here. So I like Cleveland on this one.
That's an interesting pick.
That's a good take.
Well, the thing is that, look, Tennessee looked really good last week, but they were not facing a full squad. So I think their value is a little bit too high right now. Like, I don't think they played well, but it's not like if you can shut down Henry or slow him down, you should be okay. And Cleveland just runs the ball. So if you don't have a chance to get on the field, and again, Tennessee just can't stop the run. So.
Yeah, I mean, they both have 8-3 records going into the.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just a matchup. It's not. I think Tennessee is the better team, but I think Cleveland just happens to match up well because of what they do well. They run the ball because they don't want Baker throwing the ball.
Right.
Well, look, I mean, it's funny. Another group chat that I'm in with A2021 Guru behind the camera. Spurs, definitely, I mean, I don't want to throw no merchandising shout outs, but shout out to the hat. But
I'm waiting on mine.
It's coming. But a group in chat I'm in with him and the president, we was talking about the Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers, about who is the better team. And a lot of teams that Pittsburgh has faced, fluff teams, and the teams that were that had good records, it's been real close. So it's always been like, who's number one in your opinion? Kansas City or Pittsburgh, and a lot can be said for Cleveland also. Remember, they lost against the Ravens week 1, and then they've racked up some wins after that. But not all the most competitive games or not all the most dominant teams that they face, but their record is their record. 8-3 is a damn good record, especially for Cleveland after the years of destitute that they have suffered.
Yeah, they definitely making a playoff this year for sure.
And here's a little history fact. Cleveland Browns versus Tennessee Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Against each other, 35 and 32. In favor of Cleveland.
It's going back to the whole Jim Brown Houston all those teams.
Must be.
Yeah.
Damn, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Like, no pun intended, but Cleveland should have the dog in that fight.
Right.
We'll see. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I think they just match up particularly to what they're doing this year. They run the ball a lot. So, keep Tannehill off the field, keep Henry off the field. You have a shot.
It's an interesting pick. It's an interesting game. That's why we do these. That's why we do this each and every Sunday. We do this for you.
Sure.
We don't do it for us. We do it for you. Next one, Philly, Green Bay. Yes, you heard us. Philly.
Woo.
Green Bay.
Philly, the team that broke 90% of America's hearts last week.
That's the Eagles.
I pulled one out for y'all because that was hard.
Well, I gotta pour one out for everybody who bet everybody who bet for Seattle. I got pour one out for you. Green Bay is a 7.5 favorite. I
thought it was more. I thought it was more.
It should be more. It should be more.
It's
a 9. It's a 9. Aren't they a 9?
Mm-mm.
You double check that?
Maybe on your thing.
Yeah, on mine. I see a 9. They're 9. Plus 9. That's what I was like. That's a good bet.
That should be. FanDuel. It's still 7.5 in this one.
Get the hell out of here! Wow. All right. 7.5.
7.5 point favorite. Green Bay. Should be a lot more, but I guess the way the Eagles have been playing lately, I guess they're trying to make it a little bit competitive for the point spread. Ben, what you thinking, man?
Well, initially I thought it was a 9. At 9, I would have taken Philly, but at 7, I'm gonna take Green Bay on this one. I think they should be able to cover that. Although it's gonna be a little bit. It's not gonna be that a high scoring game. I don't think that's gonna be the case because believe it or not, Philly's defense is a little bit tough, particularly in the front. And if you make Aaron Rodgers uncomfortable, he makes his night long. So I think they can beat Philly by 7. So I would take Green Bay on this one.
So I'm just looking at quick. Let's see. The Eagles are 4-7 against the spread this year. You just don't know what team is going to show up. Carson Wentz looks like the biggest waste of money I've ever seen.
He's playing horrible.
You can't get any worse than what he's doing right now. He's pretty much a lock to throw an interception every game. He reminds me of what Eli was 2 years ago. Good for at least 1 or 2 interceptions a game. I'm just kind of worried this game that this will be a Green Bay letdown game where they let their guard down. I'm going to take the Eagles to cover this. I really am. I think the Eagles have been playing bad enough to give people a little bit of victory. Shout out to the 10% that voted for the Eagles last week. They must have been all Eagles fans, all 10 of them that voted for them. But yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles. The Eagles are going to lose this game, but it's going to be by less than 7. I got a feeling they'll lose by like 6.
Go by 3.
Yeah, or by 3.
Field goal.
Yeah,
I can see that happening.
I'm going to take the Eagles to cover this.
See, I was all on board for Green Bay, but Aaron Rodgers has shown he can be beat on any given night. Man, he used to look like Superman at one point. You're like, damn, can this dude be beat? Unless it's like in the playoffs where it can work against him. But he has looked like a very beatable man at times. And it's because his offense is fairly one-dimensional. You kind of know who you're going to. Tunyon and Devontae Adams, like you know who he's throwing to. And in terms of his backfield, shifty, whatever it could be, but Philly has heart, and that's always been indicative of Philly. You know, going back to the Rocky movies and all that shit, like Philly has heart. You know, and they can lose a bunch of games. The NFC East can prove they hit. You can lose a bunch of games, but you can still be in it. You know, and I think I gotta agree with Lou on this one. I think Philly against the spread. I think they got this one. They may lose.
I liked it at 9. Like I said, I liked it at 9. At 7, I don't know. Just because of Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, like he could just throw a last-minute touchdown. and
it is in Green Bay. You know, it's but I mean, sometimes Aaron Rodgers, he could turn it on when it's cold. But I don't know, it's something about Philly. They have been that last second warrior. So they may be down by like 14, and all of a sudden score a touchdown, boom, extra point. Now you down. Now it's 7. Philly covers. So
it's absolutely.
It can happen. It can happen. It shouldn't. Don't get us wrong. On the money line, I'm picking Green Bay all day. But on these points though, I'm going to take Philly on this one.
And they're calling for rain tomorrow and a high of 37. So I don't think we can see much airing the ball out tomorrow.
I
don't know.
I should look good for Carson Wentz. But and our last game, as I look like somebody who was on the yard in Alcatraz. Shout out to the 49ers on this one. You got Buffalo. You got San Fran at San Fran of Arizona lately, because San Fran will be playing in Arizona not this week, but I think in the coming weeks.
3 weeks. 3
weeks, yeah. So they will no longer, or they will now be the artist formerly known as San Francisco 49ers.
49ers.
They would just be the San Francisco of Santa Clara of Arizona 49ers. So right now the 49ers, and I did not stutter when I say this. People who know me know I stutter. I did not stutter when I say this. San Francisco is the 1.5 point favorite. Let that sink in. Lou, what you thinking?
1.5. That's tough. Like, I don't know with this one. This is scary. This is a scary pick. This is like a toss 'em up. I think Buffalo wins this game, but I think 49ers. It's 1.5. Like it's not going to be a 1 point loss. I'd be surprised if it is. I'd cry if it's a 1 point loss. I'm taking 49ers to cover this 1.5. Against my better judgment, but I'm taking the 49ers to cover that.
Bars. Benny, what you got?
I like the Niners in this one, actually. I think they will win. They're getting healthier. They got Mozart back. I believe Sherman been back for a week. They're starting to get healthier just at the right time. And this is a beatable team, so I think they can get this one. So I like the Niners.
The thing about Buffalo, they had a hot start, in the beginning of the year. And then a little team all the way south in Miami started getting hot too. And Miami is showing that they may be the better team in the AFC East. Remains to be seen as the season progresses towards week 17 and wild cards and so forth. But, Buffalo has tailed off. And I think DeAndre Hopkins not only scored that last second touchdown, but I think he also stole Buffalo's heart after that, because Buffalo has been been wishy-washy.
It's a tough loss.
It was a tough loss, and I think they took that shit too hard because they have no heart lately. Buffalo is looked pretty beatable. And this was supposed to be the year, no more Brady in your way, but I mean, I think that's what they took it as. They took it as, we got in the bag. Patriots ain't gonna be there no more. They know the Jets weren't gonna do shit. And I think they slept on Miami. And Miami is caught up on their heels, and that doesn't mean they've been inspired to play any better. So for that alone, I think San Fran's defense and their offense is clicking more. At one point, Kittle was out for the season, and I think now he's starting to see that the team is starting to win more games. He's like, you know what, I might be back. So if that trend keeps coming up, then San Fran might be a team to look out for. The NFC West is fucking tough.
Yeah.
Seattle, LA,
Arizona.
It's tough.
It's very competitive. Very competitive.
It is, and honestly, San Fran, if it wasn't for those injuries, they could be at the top of the division like they were last year. But it's an unfortunate situation. But I'm gonna go with San Fran on this one. So we're all in agreement on that one. I think the boys from Santa Clara of San Francisco,
by way of Arizona,
via Arizona, and I think they're a really good team when healthy, and they're still not healthy. But even when they took some L's and they lost half of their defense, they were still playing very competitive football. Now you got your boys coming back, so I think San Fran should do this one. That would be great benefit to Miami. Give them the help that they want and need. It's gonna be a hell of a race for the end of that conference. That division, to see who's gonna be in that
sitting on top in that
the NFC East.
Not the bye, but the wild card.
Yeah, because they ain't gonna get that bye. It's gonna be Pittsburgh and KC.
There's only one bye, so it's Pittsburgh right now.
Oh, that's right. They changed it this year. Ooh, Pittsburgh better run that table. Because KC on that ass.
Yep.
Which they have the freaking Raiders to blame for that one. So, but I honestly, I don't even see Pittsburgh running the table. Speaking of which, Ben had a sleeper pick. We're not going to pick on it, but Ben had a sleeper pick between that Pittsburgh and Washington one.
Yeah, I like Washington this week. Like I said, I think it's a letdown game. They're going to be looking ahead to Buffalo. So, I don't know. It's a good spot to lose right there. They've been struggling. They haven't blown out any team really. They can't really run the ball. And Washington has a good front, and they started to play a little bit better offensively. They're getting their running game going. They can pull off an upset. I'm not saying they absolutely will, but I can see that happening.
See?
Never know.
Why the hell is the game at 5:00?
Oh, because remember,
because of the play.
Because Pittsburgh played Baltimore on the Wednesday.
Yeah, they're just trying to get them time to rest.
You got 2 Monday night games. They got 2 Monday games. You got the 5:00 Pittsburgh, Washington, followed by the 8:16 Buffalo and San Fran.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
Followed by Tuesday with Ravens and Cowboys. So
I don't know. I can see Pittsburgh running the table. Washington, I really think they win that game. Buffalo, I think that's a win on a Sunday night game, big stage. Play the lonely Bengals 4 days before Christmas. That's a win. They play the Colts.
The thing is that
might have
Pittsburgh really hasn't beaten really tough teams this year. They've had a really soft schedule.
They beat the Ravens twice.
Hey! Why you gotta mention it?
But they haven't played.
That's a tough team.
But they haven't played as well as last year, so it's not the same team. They're still tough. Don't get me wrong. Titans are beautiful. They're very flawed. But besides those two teams who just got in there, a couple of
I'm just saying,
Cincinnati,
they had a 3-week
Cleveland.
run where they beat the Browns, the Titans, and Ravens.
That was their toughest stretch. So
And they
three
have
games.
the same kind of thing. And they don't have anything close to that towards the end of the year.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, they have a good record. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that, but I think they can be beat. They're not like as tough as they seem. That's what I'm trying to get at. They're not.
Yeah,
they're
but
not
I don't think
great
they've been right. But they haven't been tested yet.
Exactly. They haven't faced
But I don't
somebody
think
that's
any of the
really
teams,
tough.
any of the teams
That's
left are going to test them.
that's left. Right. Exactly. Yeah. I
So
think Buffalo could be a good team, good matchup, but
if they get up
it depends
for
on how they play.
If they get up for it, they should get up for it.
Right.
The indie game, I think is week 16. That should be good.
Yeah, it should be good. Yeah.
Week 17, I think Pittsburgh has the Bengals or Browns.
Let's see.
I know the end of a division game.
Yeah, and they have the Bengals on the 21st.
That's a cupcake. That's a cupcake game. I mean, granted, it'll be Duck Hodges.
That's week 16. Right, that's week 16. Yeah, they have the Bengals and the Colts. The Colts is the only challenge I see, and that might be a tough game because they played 6 days apart.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the toughest. I think that'll be the toughest one, because now you're looking at the schedule. You're looking at KC. You're trying to surpass, what you're probably capable of. And it's a really tough team. And by that time, hopefully, Colts have 95% of their staff back. Because after week 1, everybody gets injured, so no team is 100% at all.
And I put it this way: like, you can't take the end of the season off, being that there's only one bye now. So you're gonna play hard those last 3 weeks. You're not gonna rest your guys.
Yeah, I don't think people are gonna be resting you don't want to.
But I don't see them resting people. I don't see Pittsburgh resting anybody going into.
Yeah, that's what I
you need that bye. Like, you rest on the bye week. Let's secure that bye week and let's run this table.
I see KC as the superior team. I mean.
Oh yeah, I don't think Pittsburgh beats them in a playoff match.
Yeah.
But I think Pittsburgh runs the table the rest of this year.
On their schedule, they can. I'm just not 100% they will.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to watch out for the Chiefs. The Chiefs only have that one loss, so you can't afford to go against the Chiefs schedule-wise. I mean, what it will come down to, interconference record, I guess, after that?
Yes.
Yeah.
If they end up tied?
Within division.
Within the division record?
Yeah.
Which will go to Pittsburgh because they should be undefeated in the division.
And if they lose to the Browns or Bengals.
Right.
So, see, we don't just talk about the 5 teams we think is gonna, do it for, we talk about the extra stuff. We talk about the underlaying, the underlaying stuff. We give you some sleepers every now and then. I will still be sleeping on Washington, but we give you sleepers every now and then. But,
hey, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, this is a good spot just to look the team over. Big win off Baltimore. Washington is not a great team. Look also over and looking ahead at Buffalo because they're at top in their division. So I could see that. You kind of forget about them. They're sneaky good at at places, So you might be surprised.
Which is more likely, Pittsburgh goes undefeated or Jets go?
Jets are very much going over 16.
They're looking hard now.
Man, I was listening to the sports radio, and they were like, the only reason
who they played
coach.
Who the Jets?
It don't matter. They can play the Little Giants and still lose.
It doesn't matter who they play.
They
going oh. They going oh.
They played the
Raiders this week.
They got the Raiders, Seahawks, Rams, Browns, and Patriots. That's all.
Ass whooping. Like, come on. Like, the only game that they may even breathe a little bit of life into will probably be week 17 because the Pats might be like, fuck it. But they still should lose by 40. So
yeah.
All I need
The
is
Pats
just gotta
ain't
get one win. That's all I need, man.
It's not happening.
I need one team to fall asleep on them. That's it.
Look, the same way how Houston was congratulated by all the Detroit Lions fans because they finally got rid of Matt Patricia.
Shout out to that. Yeah.
I think every Jet fan should thank all 12 teams that they faced this year because they finally gonna get rid of Adam Gase for that shit. But
I read that's the only reason they keep Adam Gase, because he's a guaranteed loss. Like, if you change it up now, somebody's gonna find a way to win a game.
If you need a tune-up game, look no further.
Yeah.
But happy betting, everybody. If you're in that kind of state or in that kind of region, bet happy, bet proud, bet safe, be responsible. If you're in the entertainment area, same rules apply. Have fun, rock out. Enjoy your Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday games. Very soon we'll be having Saturday games. So Homie Picks may be coming on maybe a day early. Just to try to cover everything into one. But until then, happy Sunday, happy football. And we'll see y'all later.
Giants in first place,
guys. Comments, bro. Give us your picks.